In this video, we're going to take a look at the Porite website, and so I'm going to take you to your URL, that's where we're at, and we'll add /wp-admin, and then we can log into the back end of this site. You'll put in your username and password that we give you, or that we have given you. There we go. And once you are logged in, you will see this screen, and the things you want to notice and take note of are all these things here in this black left-hand column. Don't really need to worry about anything over here for now. So I'm going to go down this list and talk about each of the important items here and show you basically how your site looks and how it works by going through each of these. So under updates, this is where your plugins and your WordPress themes are located, and we regularly update these for all of our websites that we host and support, including yours. So there are update plugins, and if you ever run into some issues, sometimes it's because you need to update a plugin or something has gone wrong with the plugin. So you can go ahead and update these things. But like I said, we go through and regularly do that for all of our clients. So you also don't ever have to worry about this if you don't want to. So we'll move down to posts. Under posts is where you would have blog post type items, which you do not currently utilize. If you want to implement a blog onto your site, that's super simple, and we can help you get that set up when that time comes if you're interested in doing so. Next on the list is media, and this is where just all of your images are located. So images, or if you had PDFs or anything like that, that's where all this stuff is located. And so you can view your media here, but anytime you need to add media within a page or an item or any other plugin, that option will be there. So this is just where they're housed, where they're all located, and you can view them, but there is not often a need to just look at your media library. If you need to add something to the media library, you click add new, and then you can drag those files here or select through this button here. Next up is forms. Under forms, you have a few different forms. The form plugin we use is pretty intuitive. So you have how your form looks is over here on this in the left, and if you click preview, you can see what your form looks like. It doesn't have any of the CSS or the style from the website, but you can see kind of just how it lays and sits and get an idea for how it looks and how it functions. And so if you look at these items are all added by coming over here to the fields. So either standard, advanced, you would click an item, and then you can either drag it where you want it to go, or if you just select it, it will show up at the very bottom. And so you've also got these page breaks here, which anything can be dragged and rearranged wherever you want it to go. You can duplicate an item. That's what this field will be duplicated if I click that. If you click on an item, it will expand, and you can change the label on it. You can make the field required. You can change the size of the field, different items like that, and then just click update whenever you make any changes. If you do delete a field, it's going to delete the entry items that go with that. So if you have any form entries, if you delete items like that, then you'll lose that information. So you'll just want to be careful when you're changing forms to make sure you have saved all of the form entries somewhere else. And I think they should all be fairly straightforward. I don't think there's anything extra special. You have an upload field where people can upload files. If you go to settings, you can look at confirmations and notifications. Under notifications, this is who is receiving an email when this form is submitted, and it looks like these are going to this email here. And if you ever need to change that, that's where you can change the email. Or if you want to go back to notifications, you can duplicate this and then change out the email and add multiple if you'd like. And then you can also view your entries from here. So if you go to forms, you can view your entries by clicking any of the buttons below whichever forms. So you can see these are your entries here. And if you want to change how you view what shows up here, you can click on that and you say, I want to know when these forms were sent in, and then you can change it, and then it will add that column here, and you can see the entry date for the form. I like to be able to see that sometimes, so just so you know how to do that. Those are the main and basic parts of updating and looking at forms. If you need to add a form within a page or within a space, there will usually be a button to add a gravity form, and I'll show you how to do that when we talk about pages, which is up next. So let's talk about the home page, the front page first, and we'll just take a brief look at that. You can see that our sections are kind of broken up into, you've got this upper section, which is the slider. So this header stuff is located in a different section, and we've got on the home page in particular this slider, this section, and then these buttons here, and then the rest is done through the footer, which I will also show you how to do. But on the home page, we just have short code for that home page slider. I'll show you how to use that. That's used through a slider plugin. You can see there's a section here for each of those sections I just showed you. And if you want to add new sections or remove sections, that's done through these buttons. They can also be drug and rearranged. Obviously, things are in a good arrangement now, and so you don't want to do that, but that's just so you know. On this section, we have these buttons here where you have the title color. So you can change that or copy and paste a different color here and display the section title on the left, meaning you have this title is on the left and then your content is over here on the right. And so that can be edited here, and then the title can be edited here. And this works basically just like Microsoft Word or any word processor that you might use. You can bold, italicize, bullet, number a list. You can align it differently. You can hyperlink text. You can make it larger or smaller. And then, like I said, if you needed to add a form, that button is here. And so you would just select whatever form. Don't want to display the title or the description, and then it will insert the short code for you right there. If you need to add a Foo Gallery, which we will talk about in just a minute, then you can add a Foo Gallery through here. You just select whichever gallery and click insert, and then it will put the short code in there for you as well. And if you want to add a picture, just a regular picture, not a gallery, then you can select a picture and insert it here. Can center it, align it differently, change the size of it. You can link it to a custom URL if you'd like. And then you would just click update once you made any of those changes. And the home tiles, these tiles here are located, I'll show you when we get down to that in another location. So all that's here is just shortcodes. That's everything on the home page that you need to know. Let's look at a different internal page just so you can kind of see how those look also. So on this quality page, again, we have the buttons where you can have the page section title displayed, and then we've got that color, which if you ever need that color, you can just copy and paste that code. So let me go ahead and look at this page from the front end. And you can see that there's a image set here, and like I said, that title is here, and then the content is to the right, and that's just a picture that we inserted from the media library like I showed you just a minute ago. That's the first section, and then under this, the next section, we have a Foo Gallery here. And if you want to change any of the background or spacing, if you ever need to change the background or spacing on one of those sections, you can, but you shouldn't need to on any of those. And then if you scroll down over here on the right, the featured image is set through here. And again, it will take you to the media library and you can select whatever image you want. Once you make any changes, you'll want to click update over here. Let's look at another page and make sure we've got everything think the locations page is pretty basic. There's just a picture there, yeah. Again, that was just added through Add Media in the media library. Let's look at the contact page, make sure everything there has been explained. On this page, we don't have the title on the left, so that's switched off. And these items are used, we use a columns short code so that things aren't in multiple columns. And if you need to add a third column here, or you don't understand how this works, you can kind of see how the short code is placed one half here, and then these middle sections one half, and then you finish the one half, and then the one half last, and then end the half. So that's used through this button, and you can make different widths of columns. If you get confused about that, let us know, or you can Google how to use column shortcode plugin. So basically, those are how to use those sections. You can display the title yes or no, and then we've just got a form on this page, and then the featured image is set down here. Let's move to comments are disabled. That would be like if you had a blog and you wanted people to be able to comment on it, but you don't have that. And under Foo Gallery, this is those galleries for the images that we were talking about. And so I think they're all the same type of gallery. So if you look at one, so you add media through here, and you would just select whatever images you wanted to add. So I would select it or not, and then click add media, and it will show up here. You can delete them, and then you can drag them and rearrange them if you'd like. The short code is right here, but like I showed you within the page, it will give you an option to add the short code, so you won't need to come here for this, but if you want to, you can get the short code here or on that page where it listed all the galleries. Then you come down here, and these are the settings for this particular gallery. So you've got the width and height of the thumbnail set. It links to a full-size image, so when you click it, it doesn't link to an outside URL or anything. It just links to that image. And we're using FooBox as just an add-on for this that makes them look nice. 10 pixel spacings, align centered. And then if you go through each of these different sections, you can see the settings are set to make sure that it looks nice and good on the individual pages. And so if you want to recreate a gallery, all you would need to do is just replicate exactly what you see within the galleries that have already been created. And so this is on the product page. So you can see how this is set up, and when you click it, it opens it up to a bigger photo, and you can scroll through it, and you can see the title of the photo. So captions, it's using the default caption, and the captions are edited through right here by clicking that little icon. If you make any changes, again, click update, and the hover effects, you can change this to whichever one you want. Instead of the eye, you can make the caption visibility different. You can make there be a thinner border size or no border, rounded corners, any of that you can change. But if you like the way it looks, all you would need to do is just replicate exactly what you see here. And you can always add a new gallery, and it would be basically done the same way, just by adding a gallery, give it a title, and then add media, and then change all of these different settings to however you'd like them. Next up is home tiles. These are the tiles that are on the home page, as you could probably guess, that are located here. These are pretty intuitive, pretty self-explanatory. You can see the featured image is set kind of like the pages down here, and then the link is set through here. And this is just done in a way that helps us to make these look nice. So if you need to change any of these, you're welcome to change out the title, the link, and the featured image if you ever see that you need to do that. Next up, Genesis, that's the theme for your website, and we don't really need to worry about anything there. Under appearance, we have two items we want to talk about, which are widgets and menus. So under widgets, this is where we get the items in our header and footer. And in the header, we have your logo, which is linked to your website. And then there is a little save button in the corner. And we have your navigation menu, which I will show you next up how to edit menus. If you add anything to the header or footer, that's added by selecting something over here, and it will ask you where you want to add it, and then click Add Widget, and it will show up there. And then, so under the footer, we have, again, your image, and then this is located in the next little section. So if you ever need to edit that, that's located here, and that's hyperlinked so that people can click and call. And then the hyperlink to the employee login is in this section, and then that social media menu well, let's see. It looks like we don't have a social media menu. I'll look at that in just a moment. And then in the subfooter, that's where this other part is. There we go. So in the subfooter, you have your questions form, which is just you have your title, and then you select whichever form you wanted. And we displayed the form description here. And then custom products is the next. So we have this custom products section here, which is this text, this header, and then the button. And so this is formatted as a button. You can see it's highlighted there. And then, so this is shown on the home front page. You can see right there. And I'm assuming this is shown on, so show on checked pages. And it is shown on I'm not sure what page this one is on. Custom quote. I don't know. I don't know that this one is showing up anywhere. I can get back to you on that. But that's where these main items are located. And then let's talk about menus. So this was pretty straightforward, pretty basic. If you create a page, it shows up over here. You select this item and you click Add to Menu, and it shows up over here. And then I can edit the navigation label through here. I can remove it, and I can drag these anywhere. I can make certain items sub-menu items if I'd like. If you want to add a custom link, you can copy and paste any link here. Give it a navigation label of some sort. And then you can add a link to an outside site or any other thing. And like I said, you can remove that and then click Save Menu. And then it looks like at one point there was a social media menu. I'm not seeing it being used anywhere. Yeah, it's not currently being used. So that must just be we didn't use it. So if you end up needing to add one, we can do that for you. But it looks like we don't currently use that. Moving down to plugins, this is what I was talking about earlier that's used to build your site. And if you want to add new plugins, you're more than welcome to, and you can ask us any questions you might need along the way. Users, this is where your admin user profile will be. And if you want to come in here and change your password, that's done right here. You can create a new password and then click update user. None of these items here we really need to talk about. Tools and settings, there's nothing there. Custom field, there's nothing there that you'll change or edit. Foobox is, like I said, just an add-on that we use to make those Foo galleries look nice, and there's nothing that needs to be done here. Under Slider Revolution, you have one slide on the homepage, and that's what we use that short code for on the homepage. And you can see this slide right here, and there is a background. There's an image here. So when I double click on it, it lets me open up the media library, and I can replace that image with any image I'd like. If you click this button here, you can see all the different elements, and then you can click on them and edit them. So in this element, if I click this pencil, I can change the wording here if I'd like. I can change the wording on here, or you can always just double click it and then change it to whatever you might want, and then click the green arrow. If I want to change this box size, I can change it by coming to here. I can change the color anywhere through here. I can change the font. I can change the size of the font or the color of the font. I don't think those are things you will be doing. If I double click on this again, I can update the image. And if I double click on this, I can update the image. And then I can also update the YouTube ID or the URL, which it looks like we need to do because this video isn't found. So we need to fix that. And if you can get us that, we can fix that for you. But that YouTube ID will go here, and then you'd click update video. And anytime you make changes, you'll just click this save slide. And then you can also preview it from here and make sure that it's responsive on all different devices and it looks okay. And that's done by clicking these different screen sizes and making sure everything fits and looks nice on those. And so obviously when we get down to the mobile size, there's not enough room for everything. So, and that's most of what you need to know on here. I don't think you'll be editing much else. We do have animations set on these different items, and so those are set by when you're highlighted on an image, you can check the animation and change the speed of it, things like that. And then slider settings are set through here as well. If you need to change any of those, I don't foresee you ever needing to change anything there. WordFence is set up so that we make sure your site is safe and we get any email updates about any possible spam or hacking or anything like that. And so that's just set in place to keep your website safe, and you don't need to worry or do anything with that. And I don't think that you're using Google Maps. You're not. And so that's everything. If you run into more questions, let us know and we'd be happy to assist you. But that should get you a good start on your site.